Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and with the introduction of iOS 26 bringing hundreds of new features and changes and a new redesign, Apple added quite a few new Apple CarPlay features, so I thought we'd go over everything new in iOS 26 with Apple CarPlay. Now the first thing is the liquid glass design. You can see some new icons here, so podcasts, music, and I am using a BMW display. This could vary of course slightly from car to car, but you'll see that we have translucency here on the menu bar on the left, and then a new settings app, and things look just a little bit different. Now Apple could change some of these designs as we carry on through the betas, but keep in mind these are betas and there are some bugs in it still since it's early days. You'll see here this will be switching between 5G and LTE, and it doesn't quite fit the overall menu bar properly, so that should be resolved by the time it's released to the public. But just keep in mind this is an early beta and shouldn't really be used on your main device just yet. Now, along with liquid glass design, of course, we get some new wallpapers, so not just new icons, but quite a few new things throughout. If we go into our settings, we can go to our wallpaper here, and under wallpaper, you'll see we have a new one. I'm currently using this one, and we of course have light and dark modes for each of those. So if we go back here, go into appearance, we can switch to always dark. If we go back to the home screen here, you'll see what it looks like. So you can use always dark mode, you can use light mode, whatever works best for you, and this gives you an idea of what it looks like. Now within the same settings options, under our customize icons option, we have the option for light mode, dark mode icons, or clear icons, just like we have in iOS. So we can have light or dark mode clear icons, or have it on auto based on what we've got set already. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like. We'll go back home, and now we can have clear icons as well. So if you prefer those, you could use those. It really doesn't differentiate enough for me, so I typically use the dark or light icons, but that's something that you can fully customize if you'd like to. Just leave it on default or switch to dark mode, whatever works best for you there, or switch it to auto and it will switch based on what you have set. Now another thing we have has to do with accessibility. We now have the option to change the overall text size here. So if we go into text size, we can bring it to default, 110%, 120%, or 135%. It changes the overall text size, making it easier to see. So that's something you can fully customize to work best for you. And of course, that goes along with the light and dark mode appearances as well. A couple other accessibility features we have are sound recognition. So if we go into sound recognition, it can then listen and let you know if maybe there's a horn honking at you outside, or maybe a baby crying within your car. So if we go ahead and turn this on, you'll see that we have options for that: car horn, siren, or baby crying. So if we want it to notify us, maybe in the car, if it hears something like that, maybe you're hard of hearing, it can then notify you on the display if it senses any of these things. So it's nice to have that option here. Now another feature that goes along with different displays within vehicles has to do with something called Smart Display Zoom. This is something Apple showed off in its developer sessions, but basically it allows it to scale based on the display you have to better fit the display. So overall it looks pretty good on my display, but it can vary depending on which vehicle you have, of course, and it can change depending on if it's a vertical display, horizontal like this one, or something else. Now, if we scroll to the left, we have our normal sort of display that shows everything here, but if we scroll one more time, we now have widgets. So we can see things such as our albums that are playing. You can scroll through a clock, you can see the calendar, and you can also see any events that you have today. The same is true with the middle, where we have our current weather. If we scroll down, we've got different controls for our home devices. So maybe you have HomeKit devices, a lock, a garage door, you could press on it here, and then also new reminders. So you can see some reminders there, as well as back to the weather. So if you press and hold, you can't really change that. They're set, but you can scroll through them. And then you'll see sunset on the right. And again, there may be some bugs throughout, but we have some photos, sunset, and then from time to time it will change. Keep in mind it's an early beta and things will change overall, but we can just scroll back to the main page. So if you want to leave the widget page up, you can just leave that as your main display while still playing music. If we go into Maps, there's an update here as well. Now, if we go into Maps, you'll see that we have our map, of course, just like you would expect. Tap on it, and some of the options have more of a liquid glass design. We have 3D in our typical options here, and when we pinch to zoom, it's not doing anything, but in the future, they're adding support on supported vehicles for this. For example, if I'm using Android Auto in this car, it works just fine to pinch to zoom, and if you're on the default navigation app that's built into the car, it works as well. So you can move around like this for now. In future versions, we should be able able to pinch and zoom as long as the car supports it. Also, if you're planning a route, it looks a little bit different. So maybe if we go here, you can see here where the overall route planning looks a little bit different. You can scroll through, and then of course, once you go to navigate, it's going to look like you would expect.
Starting route to Nectar Urban Cantina.
Also in here, if we scroll up within a map and go to report, we have some new options with crash, speed check, traffic, as well as roadwork, hazard, and road closure. They just look a little bit different with those additional options here. Now, if we go into music, it looks a little bit different as well. We have recently played at the top now. Of course, we can scroll through things, and albums and different top picks for you look a little bit different. They're larger touch targets, so they're easier to press and go into things. And of course, as I scroll down, you'll see more and more. So made for you, they just look a little bit different. I think they're a little bit easier to press. And you'll see that liquid glass design at the top here. If we go to new, you can see what that looks like. Again, larger touch targets, along with updated playlists and more. We've got the radio here, and then library. So everything looks a little bit different, and then you have your pinned albums that you can do in iOS 26 here at the top. So some really nice changes, along with, of course, recently added. And I think this is a much better interface, at least while you're driving. If you're trying to touch something, it's a little bit easier to do that, to sort of touch something on the display and have it play. The same is true with the new interface in podcasts. It has sort of the new look to it here. So if we go to new, give it a second, you'll see featured, again, with top shows, new shows, top series. And then, of course, if we go back to home, we have what's up next. Very easy to get into. Not a huge change from what we had before, but a little bit of a change with liquid glass design. And not to mention, we also have the new tab, which is not on the previous version. So it's nice to have all of this so you can quickly get to it while you're driving and be less distracted. Now, if we go home and maybe we get a phone call, and when you have a phone call incoming, it won't occupy the entire display anymore. It will simply pop up at the bottom and show you a phone call. Now, if we go into messages, when we're in messages, we have all of our pinned conversations at the top, just like we normally would, whether that's a group message or maybe some of your favorites. And then if someone messages us, we can now respond with a tap back. So let me send a message to myself. You'll see it comes right in. We'll tap on my name so we can hear what the message is, and then we can reply.
Aaron said, "Hey, would you like to reply?"
You'll see that we have the tap back option here, and then we can heart it, give a thumbs up, thumbs down, haha, exclamation points, or a question mark. So you'll see that, and then we can reply with that, along with what we're talking about with our voice. Another thing that's new in iOS 26 with CarPlay is if we go into our settings, scroll down toward the bottom, we have an option for live activities. Now, I've not seen them be active yet, but we do have the option for them. So maybe a sports game is going on. You can see different scores from them pop up on your display and different news articles and things like that. And speaking of news, if we go into news, this has a new interface as well a little bit with the glass design, and you can see everything here where we have news audio and then for you. So you can see everything here that's a little bit different. Not much of a change, but slightly updated with all of the new liquid glass design. Finally, one of the things we'll be able to do in the future, according to Apple, is AirPlay from our phone to our display and then watch it while we're parked. You won't be able to do this while you're in motion, but we'll at least have the option to AirPlay something to it and watch video. So that's coming in the near future. So that's everything with Apple CarPlay and iOS 26. Of course, Apple could add additional features as time goes on, just like the pinch to zoom in Maps, who I'm looking forward to very soon. But let me know your overall thoughts on iOS 26 CarPlay. If you've been testing it out, what do you think of the overall design? Do you like these icons, the dark icons, the light icons, or clear ones? Let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, though, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.